everyone. I'm Rosetta. I want to thank you for joining me for the very first episode of Paleo Magazine Podcasts. Podcasting is my passion. The dailies that come with being married for 43 years and a mother of two, I still find the time to feel my passion of podcasting. I enjoy educating people about eating healthy to improve their health, to have more energy, and to live a happy, healthy, long life. I have learned that being disciplined is a valuable tool since I was a private and public school teacher for 25 plus years. I enjoy living on the soil of northeastern part of New Jersey. I enjoy the seasonal farm fresh fruits and vegetables that my local farmers make available for me. In my podcast, I talk about being a longtime New Jerseyan and the advantages of having access to whole natural foods that benefit and the benefits they give to the human body when eaten and cooked properly like the Paleolithic friends did. This podcast will help you implement the paleo diet into your lifestyle. This podcast will educate you about the ways you can incorporate whole natural foods in your diet, using healthy recipes that contain the best meats, vegetables, fruits to help you improve your health overall. This information that you learn from my podcast will encourage you to share this information with your family and friends. This podcast will teach you how the Paleolithic lifestyle way of eating is healthier than the standard American diet. The typical modern diet contains lots of chemicals that the human body is not created to digest on a daily basis. Every week, I will be interviewing the most exciting and inspiring people from the paleo community. Each podcast interview will be captivating in a special way, as each paleo contributor will be telling their own personal story, a real life story of the steps that led them to the paleo way of eating. Each podcast story has a special emotional value that will help you understand the lifelong benefits of paleo lifestyle. The podcast contributors share a lot of books that you can refer to that contain recipes, shopping lists, tips, and techniques that will help you keep motivated. One thing that I'm excited about is that we produce a new podcast every week. So for you, this means a new episode of Paleo Magazine Podcast will be waiting to accompany you on your commute to work, your daily jog, or during any weekly activity that could use an additional dose of inspiration. We will be following a clear and concise format on every show, so you'll know exactly what to expect on a weekly podcast. Sounds interesting? Well, keep reading, and I will delve into details of the interview flow and tell you a little bit about the hosts, myself, Rosetta Wood. Each episode will start with a brief introduction of the Spotlight Paleo contributor, followed by their favorite success story. Everybody loves a good success story. We will get to hear why this is our contributor's favorite, along with how they applied it to their everyday lifestyle. We will jump right into the journey. Our journey here at the Paleo Magazine Podcast will always commence in areas that we can teach so much from: failure. Our paleo contributors will go into details about major trials, tribulations, and failures they have encountered. We will examine the steps that led up to the situation and the actions that were taken immediately after that helped our paleo contributor rise above and move forward with good health. Now we have all heard about the famous aha moment. Bells chime, light bulbs flash, and the sun bursts through the clouds. We must Well, most people have created their own business, have had that moment. All of these entrepreneurs have. Our journey will take us through the aha moment, the steps leading to it, the moment itself, the action the paleo entrepreneur took following their aha moment that helped them lead them to the success they are experiencing today. Then we'll move into our paleo entrepreneurs' current business. They will go into details about their day and also touch upon the vision for the future. This will help us not only understand what they do, but it will also help us understand where they feel their particular podcast industry is headed. At this point, we have reached my favorite part, the lightning round. The lightning round is a question segment that probes deep into the minds of our podcaster to exact priceless nuggets of knowledge, and the answers to the questions will contain valuable information that every paleo person should know. Some of the questions include, tell me about the moment you wanted to change your life. Tell me about the day you wanted to do paleo. What was the vision you had for yourself when you started the paleo journey? The last question of the lightning round is, if you woke up tomorrow morning and you still possessed it, all the experience and knowledge you currently have about paleo, but your local farmer's market had completely disappeared, forcing you to start somewhere, anywhere from scratch, what would you do? This is my favorite because it can yield some incredible insight for you. Now that I told you a little about the podcast show, I want to share with you why I created Paleo Magazine Podcasts. For over 3 years now, I have been an avid listener of podcasts. Like most people, I find myself spending countless hours on planes, trains, and in automobiles. Don't get me wrong now, music is great, but I found myself wanting more. Listening was perfect for me. Podcasts offered a combination that is hard to beat. They are targeted to any passion you have, and there are no commercials. They are free. I became interested in podcasting shows that interviewed people from the paleo community. They provide insight to the Paleolithic lifestyle of eating. I began to see the paleo community of people as real people, and through their health and experiences, I realized too that I could grab on this for my life and steer my passion towards a meaningful career path. However, the podcasts that fed the fire on my podcast passion were few, and those in existence were being aired only once a month. I would tear through months of podcasting in a week and always found myself waiting to long for the next show to be aired. I immediately saw a need for a podcast that aired weekly. This would ensure that every week a fresh episode awaited me. The countless listeners that I have convinced were looking for the same thing on their commute or daily jog. I also craved to hear the journey of the paleo contributor, not just what they were successfully doing, but what they did to reach the success to good health. So it was from this desire that the Paleo Magazine podcast was born. I decided to create a conduit that would allow people around the globe to have access to paleo stories, recipes, and concepts. My goal is to create a podcast where there were to be the best and the most exciting paleo ideas to share. I wanted to offer contents that would inspire you to take a leap and make this a healthier place to live by applying your passion and energy to create a healthy world. Okay, now that you know all about the Paleo Magazine podcast, my reason for creating it. I will finish this episode with my background. Hi, my name is Rosetta Wood, and I was born and raised in a small mushroom farming town in southeastern Pennsylvania. I always wanted to go to college and have a business. I think it was because I watched my mother and also helped her with her small business adventure. She would sell food as a fundraiser for the church and schedule sightseeing bus trips to different states. My mother would make good money, and I watched her get so many repeated customers because of the way she interacted with people to build long-term relationships. This was way before computers. I remember my mother spending lots of time on the wall-mounted rotary telephone, persuading people why they should buy her food and go on one of her bus excursions. At the age of 20, I left this small town in southeastern Pennsylvania to attend a vocational school in northern Pennsylvania called Job Corps. I really liked this school. I took business classes and did a lot of work as a volunteer assistant chief editor of the school newspaper and got promoted to chief editor. I got to know a lot of the teachers on campus because I always was interviewing new people. When I had an appointment to interview Mr. Schumann, the guidance counselor, and understood what he did, I said to him, I would like to go to college one day. My high school grades were good, so I got accepted into an all-girls Catholic college in 1971. I was there less than a year and realized that I was not college material, so I dropped out. Everyone kept telling me, go back, give it another try, but I was convinced that I was not going back. So I found a job working for an insurance agency, then a bank. I was always able to find a job. Then I got the urge to go to a business school near the bank where I was working. In 1973, I found my prince, got married, and was blessed with a daughter in 1976, and moved to Tennessee. I took a job as a preschool teacher and enrolled in a community college. I had my second child, a son, and my husband was then transferred to New Jersey. And I enrolled in my fourth college. This was a 4-year college. Thank goodness all my courses were transferable. I received my Bachelor of Science in Business Administration in 2003. It took me 32 years to get my bachelor's degree. I made lots of mistakes by not getting my degree in 4 years from one college like most students, but I am thankful that I do have a degree because education is something no one can take from you. While raising my children, I developed a passion for children. So I took a job as a lead teacher in a private school teaching 4th grade. I love teaching and learned the importance of a good education. In 2008, I received my graduate level teaching certificate from the state of New Jersey. I received the Teacher of the Year award from an organization that I volunteered for. My family and friends were proud of me. My husband of 43 years gave me a surprise party to celebrate this special occasion of continuing my education. In 2010, I took a teaching job in New Jersey, where I had to drive 45 minutes each way to school. The music was nice to listen to on my way in the beginning, but after a while, I got tired of listening to the same old songs over and over. The commute was a nice country view, but I needed a change to inspire me to do this journey on a daily basis. So I decided to listen to health and fitness podcasts. I learned so much listening to podcasts. Then I thought, podcasting sounds like fun. I can do this. I had my aha moment. My son encouraged me and helped me with the technical skills of podcast recording. In 2012, I thought my podcasting would be about teaching children to learn. But when I encountered a month-long battle with my gallbladder, that changed to health and wellness education. I changed it to health and wellness because I wanted to take action and share this paleo way of eating that I had encountered. I learned so much about eating whole, natural food and having a healthy gut. My gallbladder experience has taught me how to live a long, pain-free life. I learned that healthy food can be a person's best medicine. I love learning and educating people about the paleo lifestyle. The diet is a diet based on the types of food presumed to have eaten by earlier humans, consisting of meat, fish, vegetables, and fruits, excluding dairy, grains, and processed food. The paleo lifestyle has been my most passionate pearl. I become a jewel when I share information about the paleo lifestyle through a digital paleo magazine podcast. I teach children the importance of learning new things because teaching is my hobby. Podcast is my passion. I am meeting and talking with people from different parts of the world about the importance of eating healthy and being healthy. I am proud of myself for choosing this challenge and the rewarding journey of starting my own Paleo Magazine podcast business. I know that my mother would be proud of me and that I followed her philosophy. Build a healthy relationship with people and your passion will follow. My evolution from journalist to teacher to editor of a magazine to podcasting has challenged me to review my past non-eating paleo habits and challenges, such as why I struggled in college with brain fog, acid reflux, anxiety attacks, to the point where I wanted to discontinue my education. I know as a child I ate lots of processed foods from the convenience store that was a short distance in walking from my house. I know that I skipped a lot of breakfast meals because of acid reflux as a baby that continued into my adult years. This contributed to my battle with my illnesses. Now I have discovered the light at the end of the tunnel, which was changing my standard American diet eating habits to the paleo diet. I want to share my experiences to help others heal their bodies. I let my health issues get in the way of my life, and the power of the paleo lifestyle show me what actions to take to transform my dietary intake to heal my gallbladder by eating natural, unprocessed foods. When I moved my inflammation and illnesses out of my body with healthy eating habits, I was able to think clearly and help make a difference in other people's lives. I'm a legendary because I use my podcasting to educate others about the paleo lifestyle. I have been so fortunate to learn about the paleo lifestyle way of eating. I want to thank you again for joining me here at the Paleo Diet Magazine podcast. I truly hope that one of the episodes I produce helps you to learn the importance of eating whole, natural foods. If you value this podcast and the message in this podcast we're trying to spread at the Paleo Diet Magazine podcast, then check the subscribe button below and give the show a review and hopefully a 5-star rating. Your support will allow my podcast to gain recognition it needs to reach as many people as possible. Thank you.